I need to warn you guys of yet again a bunch of crazy weather coming our way. Massive snow report shows La Nina's return. 4 feet of snow in the California area, along with 14 other states calling for around 4 feet of snow. All at the same time as wildfire burns in North Carolina towns devastated by Hurricane Helene. I've never seen so many wildfires in the middle of winter. And that's not all. This Pineapple Express is gonna hit the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, and California.
Flooding is a concern, especially across Northern California, Saturday and Sunday, so please have a way to get warnings. The Friday evening commute.
Lots of rain and mountain snow headed our way. Got more weather news that's gonna affect you. You guys should be prepared for it coming right up. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. All right, folks, thanks for starting this video off with a like. Boy, this winter, I swear, does not let up. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff happening, from winter blasts, winter bomb cyclones, Pineapple Express, even wildfires. How many times have we heard of wildfires in January, right? We'll get to that. On this headline, it reads, winter weather warning in 14 states as 4 feet of snow to hit. 4 feet of snow? Let's see what it says. The National Weather Service says NWS had winter weather warnings in place for 14 states. I'm sure you guys want to know which 14 states those are. We'll go over that. Early Friday with up to 4 feet of snow forecasted for some parts of the country. They're saying states under winter warning for this Friday going into the weekend include Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Nevada, also including Utah, California, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. A blizzard warning was also issued for Alaska. Finally, we're seeing the Northwest get hit. It's been most of the rest of the United States. Now we got a warning for the Northwest. Let's see more about what they say about this 4 feet of snow. While forecast snowfall varied from state to state, the NWS said it would be possible for local amounts to accumulate up to 4 feet around Bear River Range, which is in Utah and Idaho. Now hang tight. For weather news in California, we got some flooding advisories, and I'm gonna show you a map on where that is and also some maps where some of the snow is gonna hit. It says many other areas are under winter storm warnings where it's forecasted for a foot or more of snow, with NWS advising that travel could be affected. It says in some instances that driving could be very difficult to impossible. They include a safety tip. If you travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency. And also, I think you should have an emergency sleeping bag. This little tiny thing costs about as much as a couple cups of coffee. You get into a fender bender, end up in a ditch, can't run your heater, this guy right here could save your life. I happen to know the owner, and he's extended a massive discount for our community only. So like I said, if you don't have one of these things, it could save your life, even if it's in your home. Emergency power outage, hop into this thing. NASA technology. For as tiny as these things are, you can't afford not to have one. Link in the top of the description and pinned video if you guys want to check that out. Let's see what the Weather Channel has to say about this Northwest Pineapple Express, where it's going to bring flooding, snow, rain.
A Pineapple Express, which is a narrow band of moisture originating near Hawaii, is setting up to bring multiple rounds of heavy rain to the Pacific Northwest. Flooding is a concern, especially across Northern California, Saturday and Sunday, so please have a way to get warnings. The Friday evening commute also looks messy as rain and mountain snow continue. The jet stream takes a bigger dip later this weekend, allowing colder air to settle in. Rain could change over to snow in lower elevations like Seattle and Portland, two cities that haven't seen any snow yet this season. While snow totals will be on the light side there, it will stack up in the mountains, and coastal areas will see several inches of rain.
So that basically sums up what to be aware for weather news in the Northwest, California, Oregon, Washington. But the other thing that recently happened that has some buzz is, yes, North Carolina yet again gets hit by another crazy event, a fire. After everything North Carolina's been through with Hurricane Helene, they get a wildfire in January. If you guys happen to miss that, quick recap right here.
Yesterday, 3 wildfires in North Carolina erupted in towns that were already devastated by Hurricane Helene last year. Now, while 2 of those fires have already been put out, the largest of the fires is still burning and has forced evacuations. Fox News multimedia reporter Chelsea Torres is in Old Fort, North Carolina with the very latest. Chelsea, always great to talk to you. You're back in North Carolina. This time it's not about the floods, it's about the fires.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Bob, is because of Helene, it's actually made it difficult for a lot of these firefighters to actually get out these fires. Now, what we know right now with this biggest fire, it's at 220 acres. It's at 55% containment, so some progress compared to last night with only 5% containment. But I will tell you, when I first got out here, there was almost like a white haze that was across the area, and officials told me it was a mixture of some morning fog.
There we go. The fog again, right? You guys can chime in the comments about that one.
It really doesn't look like much is going on. I'm here at the county's command center, and they tell me that a lot of those firefighters are working on the hot embers and trying to extinguish those kind of deep into the mountains right now. But when we talk about what it looks like out here, Old Fort was hit very hard by Helene. When you're driving through here, you'll still see where trees had to be cut up, moved out of the way. You'll see a lot of dried brush. You'll see some debris on the grounds. The North Carolina Forest Service even said that they want to make sure people know not to have dried up debris or anything around their homes because that can be a fire hazard. But all of this is making it very challenging and very difficult for firefighters to do their jobs.
The fire causes a power line, but it's hard to say how much it contributed, but there's no doubt that fighting fire in hurricane debris is more difficult. There's just more stuff on the ground. There's more fuel on the ground. It's harder for our firefighters to get into the woods, so it was a contributing factor.
This fire did not cause any injuries or deaths. It did damage a home, but it didn't destroy it. I'm also told that 25 people were able to go to the shelter last night.
Isn't that something? North Carolina can't catch a break.
Now, Bob, I'll tell you, there is a second fire. It's about 30 miles northeast of where I am right now. Last I saw, the U.S. Forest Service has it at 60 acres, 0% containment, but right now there is no threat to anybody in the area, and there's no evacuations there right now. Now, you see a little bit of these gusts of winds that are coming through. Also, about an hour ago, I felt a few droplets coming down. So these are the two concerns, one of a concern and the other one more hopeful for a lot of these officials. They're hoping that there is rain tonight into the morning, but then they're also concerned that some of these winds could pick up a little bit throughout the day. Bob?
Yeah, we've got multiple threats coming at you when it comes to the winds, and even the possibility maybe some debris flows too if we get a lot of rain. But Chelsea, you've been there. Can you actually feel the humidity creeping up over the last couple of hours? Because it looks like on the radar picture there are pockets of rain around you.
Just crazy how you can have wind, flooding, rain, snow, and wildfires all at the same time. You guys will have to tell me. That seems like a lot for a January. Okay, so with that big, huge cold front coming over, hitting California, hitting the Northwest, they're also calling for some serious rain. They're also calling for significant rain next week. Anyway, big switch up on the weather and some of the locations thought a lot of you should be aware of. For those of you not catching a break in North Carolina, definitely pick up one of these. And also for those of you that are in the areas where you might get up to 4 feet of snow, Northwest, Washington, Oregon, California, might be good to have one of these bad boys in your car or in your house in case of an emergency power outage if you haven't picked one up, and this would be helpful in your case. Just a quick weather news update for you guys. If you guys happen to miss one of these videos, be sure to check that out. Got a lot more coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing.